losing your identity can be a very scary thing. Now, what do I mean specifically, losing your identity? Well, for me, at least, I think in my senior year of high school, actually, let's start a bit earlier. For my entire life, right, I think I pretty much knew who I was, right, and had a pretty clear picture of what I was in my mind to myself. I was always the like kind of goofy kid, and I just did like stuck to pretty simple, did like science Olympiad, did the science stuff, very academic focused, and just kind of, pretty outgoing, but more or less that was it. Like, I honestly probably didn't even think about my identity that much. I just went with academics and just stuck with it, right? Because that was what worked for me, and it was pretty easy. But then senior year came along, and for the first time in my life, I was actually socializing with people a lot more. Like, before that, I had never planned outside of school activities, and senior year changed that a lot, right? And so after that happened, especially after Science Olympiad season ended and academics became no longer important, I was just like, okay, now what? And I think I basically became a bit lost in myself. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wasn't doing anything academic anymore, so all I could do, my new goal, kind of my new thing, was just try and be as social as possible, try and be the kid that everyone knows. But in doing that, I think I kind of just kicked off like a chain reaction of me not really knowing. Okay, so this is like kind of a twofold thing, right? One part is about self-confidence, but today I'll just focus on more of the loss of sense of self part, right? I just began like socializing, and like, for what? I don't know. Even at this point, I think it's just like, I thought it was fun, and then so I did it. And then at the same time, right after that, like, senior year happened, I had freshman year of college, and that's a ginormous time of transition, right? So coming off senior year, going into this even more physical transition period, like, I think I honestly think I changed a lot. And the bad part about that change, obviously there's good parts to it, but the bad parts of the change is I feel like I've changed a lot, but I don't know how exactly I've changed, right? Like, I noticed myself thinking about many things differently, thinking about people differently, thinking about many different scenarios differently. Yet I can try and put my finger on it. I feel like I've definitely become more cynical, and probably more pessimistic, as I said in my previous videos. And I can kind of put my finger generally on it. But everything seems as if it's changed for the worse, right? Like, it almost seems like I've become a worse person. And I've reiterated this in many of my videos before, but and I'm not sure if that's true, but I think what is true though is I've become a very much different person. And so, like, that just leaves you very stranded in a really weird spot, because you don't know, like, every time you change as a person, I think you have to go back and like kind of see how you think, like, it's just kind of, it's like almost like you get confused with who you are, like, do I think this way? Would I think this way in this situation, or this way? I think before I could very accurately pinpoint it and tell myself, oh, this is what I do in this situation, this is what I think, this is who I am. But now I think that's less clear, and I think that's probably a good thing. That means I've probably been pushed a bit, and I don't know, like, you guys can probably tell I can't really pinpoint it, what I'm trying to say, but all I know is that I think I've changed quite a bit in college, and it's very uncomfortable. Like changing changing who you see yourself as, like not even changing yourself, but your own self view of yourself changing is very uncomfortable. And because it's so strange, right? You've seen yourself like this the entire life, and then that changing like makes you completely reconsider every single action you do almost sometimes. And so like what's really important, I think, is to have a good sense of self, is to understand yourself very well, and to try and update that like accordingly, you know. And what I mean by that is like just it's hard though, like knowing yourself, what you want, how you view yourself, everything like that. It's very difficult to do, and I think the best way to approach it is just like take some time and think about it a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of got lost. I really don't know what I want to say. Like, I think I just have a bunch of, like, thoughts just hold up in me right now. And one of my friends used a very good analogy. Like, it's your mental workspace is not very clean, right? My mental workspace is a mess. Like, there's so many thoughts swirling around in there. I think this is just like a piece of a small part of what I'm thinking about. I've been thinking about, and it's just like, who even am I? You know, like, I think I used to pride myself a lot on many different things. Like one of them was like being nice to people in my head, you know. Basically not being as judgmental in my head. But then now that's changed. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely uncomfortable to see yourself change so much. Another thing is like academic focus, right? Obviously I become so less academic focused. Is that a good thing or not? I don't know. And it's very strange. Like, if you took my past self from 11th grade and showed it like me now, I think it would be kind of confused. How I thought back then is very different from how I think now, I think. Even my values. I think this is true. Maybe I have changed more than I think. But regardless, yeah. I guess if there is a takeaway to be taken away from this video, it's just that change will happen. You'll feel like you're losing a sense of yourself. But don't panic. It's natural. Everyone changes. And it'll take a while maybe to really kind of know yourself better. But, you know, it'll be fine. Yeah. Honestly, all this thinking about change is probably because of an anime I've been watching recently called Mob Psycho. And it's like I take random things out of shows that I don't think are meant to be interpreted that deeply, but I just like. And one of them is just like when there's this one scene where they say something about sense of self, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And then I just think about this. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, this is a messy video. My head is very messy. I apologize for the recent messy videos. I just think I'm too objectiveless right now. Even with this channel, honestly. Like, I saw the CS video pop off, and then I'm like, oh, I should make more videos like it. But then, like, I feel like I should just make videos I want to make. But I still feel like I should try and piece together coherent thoughts to actually make a good video. But then I feel like it just feels like I can't tell. This is honestly part of it too. I was going to make another video on this. I can't tell what I believe anymore. Like, it's just, I thought my values are pretty locked in stone, but I really don't know. I think they're pretty volatile, honestly. And I'm pretty malleable. Very malleable. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I really have for today. If you guys like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Like, honestly, I don't expect this channel to be an advice channel, you know. Hopefully it can function somewhat as an advice channel. But more so, it's just like, I'm figuring it out with you guys, you know? And if you guys, yeah, can leave a comment or whatever. Okay, bye.